you're confident that Mormon, when he was compiling the golden plates, was mirroring what type of book?
Well,
a sacred almanac, a sacred calendar?
Yeah,
what?
well, it was using their own sacred numbers, together with some of the Mesoamerican sacred numbers, carefully structuring his abridgment to meet a religious, kind of what their concept of religious time, if you will. It's really his codex. It's a religious codex, and he's using the same techniques that they used in Mesoamerica to make it sacred.
Wow. So what does this mean for like the average Mormon in terms of how they approach the Book of Mormon? Hey guys, we're going to press pause just for 1 second to thank a sponsor, none other than scripturenotes.com, the coolest way to read your guys' scriptures online. If you guys want to receive a small discount on Scripture Notes, you can actually use the code WARDRADIO and you'll get a 14-day free trial to Scripture Notes. Totally worth it, totally awesome. I use it in every episode. Now, back to the episode. This is crazy. Okay. Just start. Okay. What's going on? You say there's the Book of Ether has ancient sacred number intervals
Fourth Nephi and Ether, and actually the rest of the Book of Mormon. But I'm just going to talk about these two ones because I have to be limited to 20 minutes.
Okay.
But yes, there are Mesoamerican style sacred number intervals in the year counts, or in the year in the.
Okay.
So.
Here. Go into your little, what's it called? Your little PowerPoint here. Rock on.
Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's. I'm going to be popping through these. The initial one's pretty quick. One of the things I'm going to talk about just briefly is the characters document, because this is kind of where it's not dependent on this, but this is where I kind of figured out that there's something going on with the Nephite number system. When I did a translation of the characters document, there was a bunch of number sets in it. Here's a characters document. There was a few other glyphs that were not in the characters document. They were found in another copy of it. So
okay.
And when I did the translation, I'm just popping through. I did it with standard Egyptian hieratic sources, materials. So the numbers are not anything. Meaning, there's not much interpolation going on. It's just it's a translation, right?
Okay.
Then I talk about the numerals, because there actually are a lot of numeral sets. And another Egyptologist noticed this in the 50s as well, said, hey, there's number sets in here.
Okay.
So I'm just showing you, these are the numbers. There's some straightforward Mesoamerican numbers. Your number 1, your number 9, it's a bar with 4 dots underneath it. That's 5 is the bar.
Okay.
There's some straightforward Egyptian numbers. And this is basically, I'm showing you the character cutout, the C number, I've assigned it a number. And then the other one is just a straight cut and paste right out of the hieratic or demotic dictionaries, right?
Okay.
And so you've got the number 2, the number 3, the number 4, number 5. Again, you can see it matches pretty close. You got number 7, 6, and 7. Didn't have too many good examples of 7 in the Egyptian, but it matched.
Okay.
Number 10, straightforward, just an upside down V. Number 12, you can see that glyph is pretty straightforward.
That's wild. It seems like it's a lot of work to write these things.
Well, yeah, they were kind of shorthand in the monumental. You got a number 50.
Okay.
Number 1,000. Number 20,000, this little 4 with a squiggly over it.
Okay.
That matches pretty good.
Okay.
You got a half. You've got a third. You've got an ordinal 1, which is a counting 1. Then you've got number 11, which is the 10 with a dot in it. 13 is a 3 with a dot in it. The dots are doing different things. They're either 10s. There's a 6 with a dot up above it. That's actually a multiply by 10.
Okay.
Then you've got a 19. You've got number 80, number 40, again, matching pretty close. Number 400, pretty close to the Egyptian. 1 million or multitude, somewhat, pretty close.
They had a concept of 1 million?
Yeah, it actually just means a lot. That's why, like in the Book of Ether, when they say there's 2 millions, it may just be there was a lot. I mean, we don't have to always take that as a literal counting of people, right?
Okay.
And then I got a couple of Sumerian proto-cuneiform numbers in there, 30, 300. And there's also the form. There was a 20 form, which actually, where they put a dot in a shell. And they also have like that bar dot that I showed you.
Okay.
So your number 20 has that shell form, then it's got 2 dots that are 10s in it.
Okay.
You got number 9 rebus and then the bar dot 9. Then these are just numbers that are found in Mesoamerica that match. The Mesoamerican year sign, which they say was a 400-year count way early on, matches the number 400. And so basically what you have is I had number sets. The first one I figured out was the death date of King Benjamin. And the way it works is you add them up for the most part.
And where are these characters coming from?
The characters document. So here in this.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, and so the blue is basically the number sets. And then you have calendrical markers on the sides of them, which means something different. But these blues are numbers, date sequences. So, and then I rendered a translation. I'm not going to go through it here. That's too much time. But one thing I was trying to figure out is like, they did like number 53. It was like a 40 and a 13. I'm like, who is doing numbers like that, right? Adding up to 53. Well, then what I realized is they are preferentially using the sacred numbers, the Mesoamerican and Hebrew sacred numbers. So you have 5, 7, 10.
Okay.
For Hebrew.
That makes sense.
For Mesoamerica, you have 9, 13, 19, and then 20, and then also multiples of those.
Why are 9, 13, 19, and 20 sacred numbers?
They have to do with the calendrical system of Mesoamerica. They also have to do with some of their ideas of religion and lunations of the moon.
So what happens every 19 days? What happens every 20 days?
Well, 19 days is actually the metonic cycle, which is actually known in the old world. It's where the lunar years and the solar years line up. Every 19 years, they actually combine, because they're different lengths, right?
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But then they actually occur on the same day. They line up and repeat each other and are the... You know what I'm saying? So they actually...
Yeah, what happens every 20? What happens every 20?
Well, it's just off. You know, it takes 19 years to get to where they are both in line, and then they deviate, but then they come back and hit on the same day.
Okay, interesting.
The New Year's Day hits the same day every 19 years. Does that make sense?
Cool.
Both
yeah, great.
systems. Okay. So I mentioned this. Then here's all the number sets that are in the Book of Mormon, or in the characters document, excuse me. And you can see they're preferentially, they don't always use it, but they've got 13, 20, 10, 5, and 19. That's one. The 300, which is a multiple. 80 is a multiple. So they're preferentially using it. Of course, they can't quite get it to always fit exactly.
Yeah.
You get okay, we got number 2 left, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, so that kind of figured out that I figured out the basis of the number system has something to do, is significantly reliant on the sacred numbers, right?
Okay.
So there's sacred number intervals in the Mesoamerican codexes, specifically the Maya codexes, in the Dresden Codex, and in the Madrid Codex. So they have these intervals, and they just love to play with them in their almanacs. These almanacs are like this day and this day. It's going through the year and going so many days to get to the next event and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so this is an example. This kind of shows you the way they kind of follow through and read their numbers. And they have different ways of representing numbers, not only just the numbers. They actually have like head variants, meaning like pictures. That means a number.
That's interesting.
Right. Oops. What happened here? Here we go. Okay. A couple blanks. So I thought, something that's always been curious to me is there's a couple things. It's like, why Fourth Nephi has something kind of weird going on. Number one, doesn't say a lot in it, right? It's a pretty short book.
Yeah.
But then it has like Fourth Nephi 1, 3 through 6, 14, 6 through, it says in this 30 and 8 years have passed away, 30 and 9th, 40 and 1st, 40 and 2nd, then it goes to 40 and 9, and then it goes, and also the 50 and the 1st, and the 50 and 2nd, then it goes to 59. It's just it's just giving these years in some sequence, right? And it's not listing them like one after another.
Yeah, it's either random, but also kind of not random. And why would you skip one set of numbers but not the other? Okay.
Right. And so I just laid them all out. This is just a graph of the years, with the blue dots. And then I says, okay, let's look at the intervals between all these dots. And what you have intervals of 7, intervals of 9, intervals of 10, a bunch of intervals of 10.
Okay.
Intervals of 13, again, sacred numbers. Intervals of 9, interval of 19, intervals of 20.
Wow.
2, 3, 30, multiple intervals of 30. So the year count that's going on there is Mormon is writing this. It's really his codex. It's a religious codex, and he's using the same techniques that they used in Mesoamerica to make it sacred or make it, that's how they would,
Wow. Okay.
So then you say, okay, let's consider each of those years. And if you add it up, that's the other thing they would do is they take the number of the year and then they could use sacred numbers to add up to that number. So this, if you want to demonstrate this slide,
okay,
shows you the years that I listed in the graph.
Oh, it's almost like a Mesoamerican, what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like a Mesoamerican Fibonacci sequence. What's the term?
Fibonacci, yeah.
Fibonacci sequence. Okay. Interesting.
But even more than that. So it's like each of those dates, each of those years, you can get by adding up the sacred numbers to equal them. Just like I showed you in the characters document has some of that going on.
Yeah. Okay.
So then the other one is like Ether. Again, this is like predates. I read that. I'm like, why are they just telling us certain reigns of certain guys and not others, and certain kings and Ether doesn't really have a year count, right? It doesn't like count the first year, the second year. It's just telling us reigns and different reigns.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you look at that, it's the same. It's where it tells you 24-year reign, 19 plus 5, 32 years, age of rebellion, 13 plus 19, 42 years of reign, 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7, or 19 plus 10 plus 13. So there are multiple ways you can get the sacred numbers to add up to those. So it's in every one of them.
Wow.
And then I kind of figured out 19, I think kind of relates to real righteousness, maybe Christ. And so you have Coriantum. Some of these others have a lot of 19s. So
this is intriguing. So you're saying that the Book of Ether, or not the Book of Ether, that the characters document is representing more a Mesoamerican almanac.
Well, no, I'm just saying the characters document, it's not necessarily an almanac. It just has its number. The numbers there are consisting primarily of sacred numbers adding up.
Okay.
Just like I showed you the adding up, right? So they add up.
Yeah.
That was just like, okay, now I know kind of something that's going on. These actual year counts in Fourth Nephi and Ether, and then all the rest of the Book of Mormon has it too. I don't have time to talk about it, but they have sequences. That's like in Alma, it says the year of the judges, but not every year. He misses 3 years, and so he's cutting it into 19s. So what I'm saying is, it's actually in the rest of the Book of Mormon. These patterns of sacred number counts and fiddling with the sacred numbers in ways just like they did in the Mesoamerican codexes.
This is interesting.
In the religious codexes. So
remind me, what did the translation of the characters document actually end up saying?
Well, the first part was basically it looks like the preface of the Book of Mosiah, which we don't have. So that would have been in the 116 pages.
Okay.
The other lines of the smaller print lines look like it's part of I called it the prophetic calendar. So it's actually just identifying specific events on the prophetic calendar up until the last battle. It's got little dash lines separate them. So.
Okay, and so what did the characters document say? That was the preface of Mosiah, you said?
Yeah, it says from the 19th year of the reign of Mosiah, then they left, went to Zarahemla, to the land of foreign-speaking people, Mulek.
Okay.
It talks about, then they got the 24 plates, which were then translated by Mosiah.
And the word 24 actually shows up on the
It has a 9, and then a 9 and a 5 and a 10. It adds up,
which is the sacred numbers.
Yeah, and if you
interesting,
and this is again for those that are so inclined to think of this, but let's show this right up here.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, if you do this, they have a leading number of 5 and 10 typically.
Okay.
The 5 and 10 is a compass and a square, and those are the hieratic,
Oh, interesting.
That's the hieratic for 5 and 10.
You're right.
And then a line is number 1.
Interesting. Wow. That's the symbolism is not lost on me, bro.
Exactly.
It's not lost on me. Okay. That's incredible.
So then these, I just kind of generally talked about the Mesoamerican codexes, but let's go to somebody that's studied them. This is not me. So in the Dresden Codex,
okay,
as you can see, they have these are sequences that they have, and again, they're looking at a 13 base. He's looking at 13. Now, 13, they had a 260. Their sacred calendar was 260 days long, consisted of 13 months of 20 days.
Okay.
So you see, that's where your 13 and 20 are coming in as something sacred to them, because that's the religious festival calendar.
So it had. Let me make sure I got this right. It had 13 months of 20 days each, so 360 days.
No, 260.
Or sorry, 260.
Yeah, so
okay.
it wasn't trying to equate the solar year. It was just this cycle that kept going, and it was where their religious festivals and their gods and things. So it didn't really match to the seasons or anything.
Yeah.
So you have, in the Dresden Codex, you have 6, 3, 2, 2, 13, 2, 2, 2, 2, 7, 7, 3, 3, 3. These are intervals that are in the almanacs,
Yeah, got you.
Right. And so it's just basically showing you that there are these intervals of 13 that they're trying to make occur in their in both the Dresden and the Madrid's got a lot of them, and then he's just looking at 13, and so you have shifted days. It's kind of complicated what they're doing, but they have like 14 and a 13. Then in the Borgia, it's interesting. That's a Mexican codex. You're seeing the number 52, but it's still using 7. It's using 13s to add up to it and 7. So there's something. He's basically saying there's some. It's not necessarily uniform all through Mesoamerica. Like the Borgia would be like the Aztecs.
So what does this mean for like the average Mormon in terms of how they approach the Book of Mormon?
It's not going to add anything to the doctrine per se. It's just indication that there's a very complex. Mormon has put together the numbers. The year counts are not arbitrary. He's structuring this thing in a way that matches the cultural way that you write a super religious codex or document, divinatory document, if you want to call it that. It's not really divinatory. It has a tons of prophecies in it, right? So
yeah,
and so it's a interesting thing that is evidence that the Book of Mormon is not just something written in the 19th century. It actually is matching these patterns.
So
anciently in Mesoamerica.
Yeah. So you're saying that due to the sacred numerology, specifically the Mesoamerican sacred numerology that you encountered in the characters of the characters document, you're confident that Mormon, when he was compiling the golden plates, was mirroring what type of book?
Well,
a sacred almanac, a sacred calendar?
Yeah,
what?
Well, it was using their own sacred numbers, which together with some of the Mesoamerican sacred numbers. The characters document was, I just showed that because that shows it has that feature. That's kind of where I figured out, something's going on. You could do this independent of that. You just lay out the year counts and you can see the pattern. In Ether, you can see the pattern. And what I'm saying is, so yes, he was carefully structuring his abridgment to meet a religious, kind of what their concept of religious time, if you will. As you know, I mean, he has the prophecies are exact, counting years. To them, they were cared a lot about specific dates of prophecy happening on specific times, right?
Now,
birth of Christ, that kind of thing. So
yeah, are there any outliers? Like I know you said 19 and 20 are sacred, so is 5 and 9. So it makes sense that 14. Like, have we just declared so many sacred numbers at some point that like any number you could say, oh, well, that's just a divine combination of 9 and 13 and 20.
You have to be careful about it. But I'm just saying that like in the intervals, it's like there were some intervals that didn't match, but you kind of have some rules you apply to it, and you can see that it's actually trying to do what it's trying to do, and that is create the intervals. So let's see.
Okay. No, I believe you.
Yeah, and then again, it's just like the Maya pretty much do it. Again, they have some that they can't get to match quite, but they've even shown that some of the kings are like fudging their birth years.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you.
So they can make it a sacred number.
It's like I have respect for the wisdom of the ancients, but also I know that every once in a while, if it was really important that the next king be born on a Tuesday, all of a sudden they'd say, "Oh, my name is William, born on a Tuesday," and it's kind of like, "Oh, what are you really, bro?" So is there any like solid evidence where they were just fudging numbers and this is kind of like a little poetic or what?
Well, they've kind of proposed that. Some of the Mayanists have proposed that. Some of the kings were just trying to expand their bona fides as some sacred divine, because they consider themselves divine gods, right? So if they can match this,
well, don't we all?
Yeah. So if you want, again, the questions you ask, a lot of them I've kind of answered in this translation of the characters documents. All of this stuff, all these new number counts and intervals is in that book, the translation of the characters document, which is available for free on my website at www.bmslr. You can download it for free. There's a whole section on it. So
okay, this is awesome. All right, so what is it again?
Just bring up this slide here.
Okay, here's a slide. Oh, BMSLR.
Book of Mormon, Science and Linguistic Research. It could be more catchy, but I just haven't got around to making it more catchy.
No sweat, dude. It's catchy enough for me. I'm totally digging it. So, all right, guys. Jerry, thank you so much for hanging out with us again and stopping by. This is absolutely intriguing. And I always love that every time you come in the studio, I just feel like I got to get your book and I just absolutely have to read it. So, if you guys are interested in what Jerry's got to say, go visit him again at bmslr.org. If you like what you've been hearing so far, please consider a contribution through wardradio.com, through Venmo, through Zelle, the Cash App, our Amazon wish list. If you want to push back on some of ideas, please comment on this video or this audio below wherever you are listening. And as always, for this and more, please make sure that you guys check us out at wardradio.com.